Neville, you're very welcome to UCC. We're delighted to have your papers, and we're really looking forward to speaking to you about a fascinating life in Irish politics and
Well,
European affairs.
well, thank you very much. It always sounds better to me that way than I feel about it.
So, if you don't mind, we might start at the very beginning and talk about
Yes,
your decision to go into politics
yes,
and indeed to join Fianna Fáil. And
yes,
what motivated you in that particular direction?
yes. Well, my university years were 1957 to 61. And during that period, I probably spent as much time debating as studying. So, in all the debating competitions and so on, I mean, I heard all the arguments left and right on the day's topical issues. And that's a political thing in itself, because in debating, you're learning, whatever side you're on, you're learning to make the case for or against. I also met a lot of very interesting people, particularly through the College Historical Society, where Owen Sheehy Skeffington was one of the most active. He must have been a vice president probably of the society then. And I admired him greatly, and of course he was a political figure in that he was an independent senator and had very determined views, most of which probably were and remained anti-Fianna Fáil or anti-Dev in any case. But that was, if you like, a political education. And then out of the blue, the first job I took was as a trainee with Westminster Press provincial newspapers. And I found myself working on a weekly newspaper in Blythe in Northumberland. And the huge advantage of local journalism is you meet everyone in every kind of circumstance, happy, sad, accidents, goodness knows what. And that was an area which was very political, because the famous Lord Robins of the coal mining fame had been the MP. And when I was there was the switch to Eddie Milne, and he became an independent Labour MP. So I could follow that sort of controversy, attending Labour Party meetings. I was amazed to find, because I thought as a Dubliner that coverage of local Dublin politics had been very poor. You didn't get much coverage of the corporation and so on. There we could actually attend committee and council meetings, and it was a big thing. And you got to know the town clerk, all that kind of thing. And then also, which I think I like to think of myself as extraordinarily democratic. The reason for that is what I found out through going round interviewing people, being at the scene of accidents and one thing and another, is often people who would almost be regarded as outsiders in a community or among the most impoverished in a community often turned out to be the more intelligent people to talk to, that you actually got better views and a more real life feeling from the ordinary people you met than you got from the, quotes, leaders. So that really politicised me in quite a way. And I was continuing to follow as best I could news from Ireland. And I remember a key moment, because I'm a philosopher by education. I went to a meeting of the Royal Institute of Philosophy in Newcastle University, which was quite near Blythe. And Fahim O'Doherty, who is the professor of logic and psychology in UCD, was the guest speaker. And I remember the night well, because I asked him what happened in the turnover tax debate. And that was a Lamass minority government, and you certainly know that it got through by one vote. I think an independent called Sherwin got that through. And I knew, as a observer, so to speak, that it was hugely important for Ireland to make that tax change, which would begin to be able to finance the state in quite a different way. So I had a political interest and was aware of events in Ireland.